Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.
What's up, guys? It's Brian. This is the Till You Collapse podcast, and I'm back with my main man, D Money.
Yo, what's going
Actually,
on?
2 D Moneys today, actually. And that works 2 times, actually. He thought I was talking about him.
Confused.
I was actually talking about him, but it works both ways. Guys, I know we've been dropping the podcast every Monday. It's what we were shooting for. But man, I got to tell you, that shit's been hard. As hectic as we've been here, we got a lot of things going on growth-wise with multiple companies. Donnie's killing it with the content, but we only have one person on the creative team right now. So we're going to promise to 1 podcast a week. They'll be too mad at me. I'm not going to commit to Mondays anymore, but it's going to be for sure once a week. We'll shoot for Mondays, but for now, don't hold us to it. It's been a while since I had a guest on this podcast. We've been wanting to do a guest, and I've been thinking about who to bring on this podcast. And who I have today is actually someone that personally trained both of my sons. He's a local guy. His name's Daniel Thomas. DT is his cool name. I just call him DT. But I really love what he's doing, because you guys know I've talked about the youth is the future, and how much I focus on health and fitness, how important it is to get youth involved young, the confidence, the mindset, and just physical fitness, everything. And he has, I feel like, the most dominant in the area, youth, health and fitness, sports specific training, functional training. I mean, I honestly don't even know exactly what he does. I know that he gets an amazing amount of kids in one place at one time, motivates them, inspires them, turns them into killers. Daniel, man, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm freaking pumped.
I'm excited to have you here, man. Like I said, he's trained so many kids you've trained so many kids in my circle, you know, and I remember when Cyrus was introduced to you through like the Taylors, you know, Kevin, and you know, that's who he was introduced to you through. And now Cruz loves it. You know, Cruz comes every week and he loves it even more than Cyrus did. Cruz is a different personality, but tell me a little about, I want them to know kind of who you are and kind of what exactly you do. And like I said, I just love that you're focusing on the youth, and you're pretty young yourself. And I'm just crazy to see how it's grown in kind of a short amount of time. I mean, I know you've been doing it for a while, but let's hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, officially we started in 2018.
Yeah.
So that's when I made a brand, started branding myself. So really it's only been about 4 years.
That's not that long.
And from there, I've only actually been in my own personal brick and mortar for about 2.
Yeah.
So first 2 years, I was just bouncing around, renting out space.
Let's fucking talk about, I mean, last 2 years. I mean, you've been in the last 2 years. That's like fucking rough, right?
Yeah,
and that's when you
sure.
really got in your first spot. So, so tell us about it. What is it? What is DT about?
Man, dynamic training is what DT stands for. And picking dynamic training, I wanted DT in the name.
Those are your
that's my
initials
name.
too. That's cool. Yeah.
So I wanted that, but dynamic of a person, what it means is to be positive in attitude, full of energy and new ideas.
I love
So
that.
I was like, man, I want people to be dynamic, not just in the dynamic training or a workout setting, but as a person.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of background on what dynamic means, but we classify ourselves and we explain ourselves as speed and agility.
Mm-hmm.
So we work with all athletes, all sports. I'm not going to say all ages, but we do work them from a young age. About 8 or 9 years old is our youngest athletes. But everything we do is just how can we make our athletes the best, more explosive, faster, quicker, more confident, better up here, better in the classroom, better at home, because we all know that at some point sports end.
Fuck
and
yeah.
who are you when it's over?
And that's why I fuck with it, man, because that's what I talk about. And that's what this world needs more of, man. And the youth is where it starts. And it starts with that and just getting them involved in that age with everything you do. I mean, it's all facets. It's the mind, the body, everything. And there's some people doing what you do, but obviously in this area, I feel like you're doing a great job, man. And I was blown away when I first went in there, and I was like, I saw how many kids you had, and I'm like, holy shit, like you fucking got cats all over the place, man. But you guys do a really good job, and your staff there, Connor and your staff there and everyone there, it's like, you know, I look into it, you know me, I know my shit, and I watch you guys, and you guys truly fucking care, and you guys really like give individual attention to as many kids as you can. Like sometimes you got how many, 40 kids in there at a time?
Sometimes. Our most ever is 56.
56 kids. And there's how many instructors? 4,
typically about 4 or 5. Yeah.
4 or 5. And they have different stations. If you can picture this, 40 to 50 fucking crazy cats on it, kids. You know what I mean? But I've coached my kids at all ages. And sometimes it's like herding cats.
For sure.
The younger ones at least cruise sometimes when he's not paying attention. But, you know, they got 4 different stations basically of kids doing different things and one instructor per station. And like I said, these guys truly care. I can tell you guys are passionate about it. You got a great team there. And you guys give them not only like inspiration and what's the fucking word? Encouragement individually. Like I said, that's hard to do. And the fact that you guys do that, that's why I really like, I'm bought in, dude. Like I said, and my kids need that. All the kids need it. But the things you guys do great job individually, like I said, especially with that many kids going, the kids feel it. And that's why they go back and they respond to that. You know that, right?
Yeah. And it's not easy. I mean, I get home and I text my wife on the way home, hey babe, I'm not talking for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I'm just gone. My voice is gone. That's why I'm a little raspy right now.
You're yelling. It's loud.
But I give, and I know my coaches give everything to those kids. I'm like, we should be as tired as them because that's how much energy and how much we're pouring out into them.
And they feel it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's you guys listening. You hear what he just said? They give everything. Like any business that you have, anything that you're passionate about, if you do something you're passionate about, like I talk about, you got to leave it all out there. That till you collapse mindset and work ethic, that's about leaving it all out there. He gives everything to those kids because those kids are everything to them, because without those kids, he doesn't have a business. And the kids feel that, and they go home and they talk to their parents about it, and their parents are like, oh shit, this is making a difference. They're going to pay whatever it is because they see a direct reflection in their kids from that. And I do, like Cruz, my own kids, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's amazing, dude.
Like the top 2-3 things when people talk about dynamic training, they're like the energy, the vibe, the positivity, and the confidence that it brings out of kids. You have to get to like the 4th and 5th point before anyone talks about speed and agility, which is what we do. And I think that that's how you make a community. That's how you build a brand. 100%. Like you guys, you know, till you collapse. It's like, it's close, but there's more to it. There's a culture behind
100%.
it.
100%. You know? And that's so about you. Like, tell me a little bit about you. You're 29, right?
28.
28. Fuck, you're young, dude. So tell us about you. So I know you went to high school, you know, in the area, sports. Like, tell us a little about your background.
Yeah. So I went to Del Oro High School. Played almost every sport under the sun growing up, but my passion, my love was football. So I finished up at Del Oro, ended up playing at Western Oregon University. So that's where I finished up my football career. And I just remember finishing my last week of finals, and I threw up on my toilet. And I've never been a person of like anxiety, but they just punched me in the face, and it was like, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Like, you're no longer DT, the football player, because that was my title. That was who I was for so long. And then reality set in. It's like, you're out of school, so you got no excuse. Let's just say I'm in college. Mm-hmm. No more sports. Who are you? Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. That hit me in the face.
How old were you then?
I was 22.
Okay. So fuck, 6 years ago.
Yeah, I was 22. And I was like, what's happening right now? I'm freaking out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And that's when I started looking towards mentors, looking towards people. And I say this a lot, but one of my mentors, he said, find something you love so much, you do it for free, and then do it so well that people are willing to pay you for it.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I did. People started reaching out when I came back home from school, just like, hey, DT, will you help, little Billy out? Will you help my kid out just with some football drills, any insight you have? And I'm like, sure, no problem. I didn't even charge people because it's awkward in the beginning. What do you charge? I'm like,
and that was 6 years ago, or
that was
right,
6 years
right when
ago.
You came back, you knew that like you didn't fuck around with any other jobs. You're like, I'm gonna go work 9 to 5 anywhere. You just like jumped right in like for free. You started working.
No,
okay.
I had a salary job as well. So my main job was at US Cryotherapy.
Okay,
which is out here in Roseville, the recovery center. So I started working there in 2012 in high school.
Okay,
worked there up until I went to school. Came back, went back to work there.
Okay.
And ended up actually growing. And I got the GM position at 23.
Okay.
So I was a general manager at 23.
That shout out to US Cryotherapy, because I go there not as often as I should, but this helps this old ass out with inflammation, everything. I need to go at least once a week, honestly.
That is my favorite spot, dude.
It works.
I pump it up because I truly believe that place
works.
Is legit.
Yeah. So you're doing that.
So I was doing that
at young age, and making decent money, I would assume. Okay,
and training some people on the side just because I loved it.
Okay. For free.
So for free. Some people give me a little $20, donation, but wasn't.
Which here's the thing, fuck, dude, I'm not getting that. I don't like shit for free. Like I would have paid you for sure, but I get it.
I mean, I wasn't going to turn it down, but I didn't know what to tell people. Like, what do you charge? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Know
your fucking worth. You know it now. That's for sure. This guy charges a good amount and I pay it for sure. Anyways, keep going.
And then, I've always loved fitness and training. So then I actually also picked up a job. I was an Orange Theory coach.
Okay.
So I was a GM in the day, and then I was an Orange Theory coach twice a week in the evenings, and then doing dynamic training everywhere in between.
So you guys hear that? Like entrepreneurship, everybody's talking about, they want to be successful and they want to do shit they love. This guy's got 3 hustles at 23 years old, right back from school, trying to figure it out. And, the shit is, it's not rocket science. Like I tell you guys all the time, like this guy's a fucking hustler and he's doing all he can to make it by. Like, it's not rocket science. Just fucking get out your ass and 8 hours a day is not going to cut it. This guy had 3 jobs.
People all the time say like, I don't know what I love. And I'm like, you haven't tried anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to go try things.
You have to. You have to experience things. You have to try things. You have to find out what you love. If you don't know, some of us like we know what we love and we stick to it. But if you're at a point you don't know, you can't know until you try things, experience things, and try it all, man.
Jobs come and go.
Yeah.
Hop in, try it out for a year. Nah, not me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Especially when you're young, man, you did it at the age that you should do it. So keep going.
And so then eventually dynamic training kept growing. I actually, 2016, I took over Del Oro High School's football program. So I started doing the speed, agility, and it all started because the coaches saw me on the field training kids just on the side for fun.
Yeah.
And the coaches were like, we know DT, he's doing a good job. They're like, and they were having a transitional period with the coach that they had, the speed coach. And they're like, hey, how do you feel about it? And they wanted me training the whole freshman football team, which 40, 50 kids, then the whole JV team, then the whole varsity back to back to back by myself.
Holy shit.
I started pooping my pants. I was like, yep, no problem. I faked it.
Yeah.
This confidence. Yeah. Oh, no problem. I'm going to be able to handle that. Yeah. No, it was terrible. I was so scared. I went and reached out to all my trainers. How do I handle 50 people at a time? Like, this is wild.
Well, here's the thing. That exactly right fucking there, guys, I talk about all the time is something I'm very strong at. And we all know I'm not strong at many things, but there's a few things I'm strong at is fucking taking action and diving in and figuring out after. He didn't bitch out. He wasn't like, no, I'm not going to take the fucking, my chair almost fell right now. What the fuck? I just fell back, like lean back, baby. Anyways, he didn't like his gut reaction was like, holy shit, this is more than I've ever taken on. But he didn't say no. He said yes, fuck yes, confidently. And he figured it out.
Yep.
You figured it out, right?
Yep.
And that's what you got to do because you're going to miss so many opportunities by listening to that bitch voice and being scared of the opportunity in front of you. Grasp that opportunity and figure it the fuck out. I'm still figuring shit out.
All the time.
Right?
All the time.
You are too, right?
All the time.
Right? So, okay, so you took that on.
So I'm going 6 to 9 in the morning, training the high schoolers before school and through first block. Then I go to my GM job at Cryo.
Okay.
Work there from like 10 to about 4, 5, 6. And then 2 days a week in the evenings, coaching at Orange Theory, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And the other day is doing dynamic training.
Fucking love it.
And I was just like, I love it.
And the thing is you're truly, I know you love all that shit. Because they all kind of tie together. Recovery, Orange Theory, like it all has to do with health and fitness and sports. And I know you're like me, we love that shit. Yeah. So, but you love it. And when you love it, like, yeah, you're tired. Yeah, you're busy, but you still love it, right?
It was the best. I was dead tired most days, most nights.
Of course.
But, and money started coming in, but that's not why I did it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
So, money will follow. As long as you put in the effort and pay your dues and doing something you love, the money will come.
100%.
Right?
Because if you don't love it, you're only doing it for the money. And when the money doesn't come right away like you think it should.
It never does.
You give up.
It never does.
Yeah.
And not only that, even when the money does come and you're doing it for the money, it's not long game. It's not the long game. Like the money will come and as the money comes and as the money grows, so does the difficulty. It doesn't get easier. It gets harder, right? It gets harder. And like, as it gets harder and you're doing something you don't really love, you're like, even with the money there, fuck this. Like you're going to hate it. You're going to burn out. So
it's 100%.
Yeah. Like this is, I can do this 15 hours a day still. And I love it. Like you too. You still work long hours too. Yeah. So that was, and then it just kind of took over. Right. And then.
So from there, it was just about me doing all of it. I did all of it for about 2 years. And then,
oh shit, you did all of it for 2 years.
Yeah,
okay.
2 years. And then dynamic training started picking up. And I started realizing, okay, I have to give and take somewhere.
For sure.
So first thing I stopped was Orange Theory.
Yeah.
So I could have more evenings for dynamic training. Kept doing Del Oro because I loved it. Wanted to get back to my school. And it was just, I loved being able to be a part of the program.
Yeah. And you still do that, right? Because you did.
We did last year as well. So we took off the evil C word years.
Okay.
Or year or two.
Yeah.
Came back last year, and then we'll see how it progresses. They've gone through so many coaching changes
for sure.
that it's been tough, but you know, we want to be a part of the community.
Yeah.
So wherever we can be a part of, we'd love to be a part of it. Yeah. So, but yeah, so from there.
So then when you were doing it, like, because I remember when Cyrus was first coming to you, this new location that I go to now, that is your first location? There was a smaller place, or what did you used to do it from before?
So we rented out of other gyms. So the first spot was a CrossFit gym that was kind of dying.
Okay.
Paying $500 a month to be able to utilize it a couple nights a week.
Okay.
Went to a bigger gym. Actually was over at Flex Appeal.
Okay.
Rented out of there for a while.
Okay.
Moved on from there. Went to Lord's Gym.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Was at Lord's Gym for a while. And then that's when the evil C word came through. And then we went out to Parks. And we were rock and roll at Parks for like 6 months.
Yeah. So, so during the last couple of years, you just went to Parks. You kept it rolling though.
Had to.
Yeah. You just, right?
I took 2 weeks off. 2 weeks where I mentally broke and said, oh no, it's that time. We're in a pandemic. Like, this sucks. 2 weeks. And at that third week, I said, F this, man. Like, no.
Well, let's talk about that. So, you know, so you took those 2 weeks. So you felt the pressure. Obviously, we all been through this recently. Is that when it first started, basically?
Yeah.
When it first
back
started?
in March.
Yeah. And obviously none of us knew what the fuck was going on, right? And with your business, it's indoors, it's fitness, and fitness should have been going the whole time, right? Because immunity and health and stuff is what helps fight against any sickness, regardless. Doesn't make any fucking sense. But you went through that 2 weeks, and what was going through? Like, what were you like?
It was just about me trying to find a balance between not being stupid, but not being scared. There's a fine line there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to piss people off and have zero change because obviously something was going on we didn't understand. So I'm like, okay, what do we do here? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to be stuck on stupid. That's what my dad used to say. Don't be stuck on stupid. Like, we have to make adjustments. And so we went out to the park and we made sure, hey, everybody, you know, don't be touching each other, like space out a little bit. Yeah. And we started with really small groups. We started with groups of 4.
Okay.
At a big open park. And then after the first week, groups of 6, groups of 8, groups of 10. We ended up getting up to groups of like 40 at the park. Yeah. Because people were hungry. People wanted normalcy. People wanted to come out and continue to get better.
Yeah. And sports were stopped at that time. And like, obviously social aspect, everything. Plus wanted to keep the kids active, right? So that's awesome. So really you didn't get that much time off. Downtime. That's awesome.
It just changed. Yeah. The game changed.
For sure.
But it always changes in business.
And everything went good with that? Did you have any hiccups? Anyone hating? Because you know there's a lot of people crazy with this shit. Like, did you have people, like, any adversity you dealt with?
We got kicked off parks all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It was super embarrassing.
Like,
but I'm like, hey,
who the fuck kicks you out? Cops?
Bro, people would call. People would walk by and call, there's a group of people out here, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then
and the cop would come up and say, you guys can't be here?
Yeah, they'd be like, this is private or whatever, public, or do you have a permit to be here? And I'm like, all this crazy stuff. Yeah. And it was wild. And then I had other trainers, a lot of soccer trainers that were out on the field doing like one-on-ones. And they were the most salty. They're like, this is our livelihood. You're going to compromise it by having
you're like, groups. This is my livelihood too.
I think because I'm young, people are like, get this dumb kid out of here, you know? Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I'm doing my thing. You guys are doing your thing. We're on a big park. You know how big parks are. Huge.
Fuck, I hate that shit. And the thing is like, my mindset is like, I want everybody to win. You know, like as an entrepreneur, like that's why I coach. That's why I mentor. That's why I do even the podcast. Because this fucking time, the time all 3 of us are spending here is to benefit anyone listening to this. You know, it's our time. And we know our time is very valuable, you know, and it's like, there's people like that. And I can't stand that shit, especially other entrepreneurs because they know what it takes. They know it's a struggle. Yeah. Hating on that shit, especially that's kind of a similar industry too. Yeah. And they're just salty because they got one kid. You're over here with 40. You know what I mean? You know, do the math.
And a lot of my kids know them. Yeah. Like they might even work with them individually. Yeah. So it was really crazy to me. But I think everybody was in a stage of fear. Yeah. Everybody was scared. Everybody was kind of confused. And I tried my best to, you know, walk in love and not be a dick.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I can tell that's just how you are.
Yeah. But at some point it was like, hey, we got to continue living. Yeah. We got to continue rocking and rolling. For like sure. My business, my life is going to tank.
Yeah.
If I just sit on the sideline.
Well,
on my
I mean,
hands.
anything. If you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good a business it is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you don't take any action, nothing happens, right?
And you have to adjust because half the time we look up a restaurant. Oh, let's go eat here. Oh, it's closed now. Weird. The places that closed down fully and that didn't adapt and didn't continue moving on, they all closed.
Of course.
The ones that adapted and moved, they're still thriving.
Of course.
So,
yeah, you have to. And that's in life.
Yeah.
That's just a lesson in life
Facts.
at any time, not just the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And so So, and then it opens back up. And then how you been in this new spot?
Been in this new spot for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
How's
it going? Are you almost grown out of it? It seems like
I've expanded 3 times inside the spot.
Okay.
So if you could look at our spot, we have like 4 or 5 roll up doors now.
Yeah.
We started with 2.
Okay.
And
There used to be walls there or what?
So there was a wall and they kept pushing the wall back for me.
Okay.
Now, luckily, the owners of the building are a construction company.
Oh, okay.
So it's easy. They move the wall back.
That's cool.
So this is our 3rd expansion inside there. There's no more room to expand at this point. So we're locked and loaded. But I always tell people I'd rather have a door out. I'd rather have a line out the door than have to worry about filling a building.
Of course, 100%. And then you can open those doors and do stuff outside, and there's plenty of room there. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what are your plans? Like, do you have goals as far as because you're in a pretty good place right now, but we always aspire to do more. Like, what do you want to do? Like with the whole, it's like I call what you're doing a movement, honestly, man, because like you said, what they get out of the sports and the training, that's like usually 3rd, 4th, 5th in the conversation. And that's amazing what you're doing. And that's what I felt. And that's why I support it so much, because that's what I do with my family and my boys and stuff like that, as far as mindset and confidence and stuff like that. But like, I find like what most people do is they try to put the sports first. And like you said, that's not even what you guys focus on that, obviously, and you guys are good at that, but like, that's not the only thing you do. And that's why you've grown the way you've grown and why you will continue to grow the way you grow, because you connect with these kids.
For sure.
It's personal. I can tell the kids, they know you, like, right? They're not just a number. And so what do you want to do? Like, do you want to just keep what you have now and that's it? Or like, what do you see bigger vision, or what do you got going on?
I mean, I think the next step would be like,
because here's the thing, and I don't want to interrupt you,
No,
but like, you have to have fucking big ass visions that like are crazy as fuck, dude. Like I want to have a motherfucking 100,000 square foot place with fucking 200 kids. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to envision, but like you reach for the moon and you reach for the stars, you end on the moon, whatever the fuck that saying goes. You know what I mean? But never be satisfied, right? Comfortable, complacent, right? So I'll let you talk now. What do you got going on?
Well, before we started the podcast, I was kind of telling you that I was on another podcast, and those wounds opened up of like I started realizing areas I needed to work on for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the past 3 to 5 years, everyone was asking me that same question.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal was always to be where I am now.
No, yeah.
I want a bunch of kids. I want, hundreds of kids. I want my own spot.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to have these classes, and I'm there.
Now you're there.
So now when somebody asks me now, I've been struggling on a personal level on like, what is that next step?
And that, let me tell you, that's normal.
Yeah.
I struggle with that shit all the time. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like, that's normal, because you've done a lot. You realize that, right? You've done more than most people do at 28 years old. That's real. I hope you realize that. And the hard thing is, in this game, as hungry as we are, motivated as we are, as big goals as we have, when you get there, like, it's never enough. You're always looking for the next thing, but you realize, I'm telling you right now, and I hope you realize, like, you're making an impact on a lot of people's lives, and these kids are going to build values they have for their whole life. You realize that, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I do, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes you don't grasp it.
I know. And the thing is like, for a second, just take a moment and be like, I'm fucking doing good things, but like that also, you got to just do that quickly and realize like you always got to be pushing forward, right? Or else you're moving backwards, or once you're stagnant, you can be stagnant for a while and then stuff starts to slip backwards. You know what I mean? So that's fine if you don't have an answer for that, man. You can just tell me that. That's all good. You don't have to have the answer for that. And that's real. And I know you guys listening to this, a lot of you guys and people I coach and mentor, a lot of times you guys don't know. A lot of times I don't know, honestly. And it's the thing is, you have to push yourself and focus on, for you, I would just dig down into the purpose and the meaning behind like what you're doing, and maybe how you could impact more kids, on a bigger level, maybe even online courses, like, stuff like that. Maybe like, sell it as a system, not even to or maybe even like a branch out and teach your systems and what you do to other people looking to do that. Because what you're doing is amazing in this community. How can you do that in communities all across the US? Because the communities need it. Right. So that's like, you're doing big level shit right now, but that's really big level shit. Like, because communities and kids and families need what you're doing. So think in the mindset, how can I duplicate me other places, whether that's franchising, whether that's video systems and stuff like that, where people take it online, but it's never the same online, but you know what I mean? But I would think maybe bigger level picture of how do I spread this message and everything bigger? Yeah. Because that's why you did it in the first place, right? So like, they need it. It's a need, and it's needed everywhere. Yeah. And I don't know of other people. I mean, I'm sure there's other people doing similar shit, but there's no other DTs out there. And you realizing that and being confident in that and just going with that, you know?
And the crazy thing is, in person, I'm confident. Like 10 out of 10, you bring me in a room, like I'm ready to go. You take me somewhere I'm unfamiliar with, I'm ready to go. You ask me to put out a course online. I've been trying to put out a course online for like a year and a half. Yeah. And I haven't done, well, I've done a little bit, but I have not even like developed it, and I have it all written out. I have a whole program, and I haven't followed through. So I don't know what it is about online.
Why?
I think it's a little bit of fear, because I've bought other people's like speed courses or, you know, athletic performance training courses. And some of them I'm like, oh, that's decent. Some of them I'm like, that's trash. And I think that
that's good you've done that, because you know what to look for and what not to do, right?
And I don't know what it is, but I feel like I want it to be so perfect. And that's the problem.
That is,
because you got to put it out there and see what it is and then make adjustments.
For sure.
And I'm good in person with that. I can do something terrible in person and adjust, but online I struggle. So if anyone else struggles online, I feel you.
What you got to, you got to just, like I said, I get what you're saying, but man, you know, you got to take action. You got to get over that fear. And like I said, I think your online thing would kill it. I know it would, as long as you can find a way to transition that passion and that I don't know what the word I want to use for is, but that just magic that you have in person with those kids. And as you do it, because I've seen it, I watch it on the camera, and it's just letting yourself go and having no, you know, are you comfortable in front of the camera?
Like, I am now. Okay. I wasn't a while
ago, it's still like, I'm very comfortable because we do so much. Donnie has me doing weird ass shit and jumping out of cars and shit. But like, I mean, the more you do it, the more comfortable we would get. So even like finding a way to not be so much of like just you. Like, I know there has to be just you and it has to be something educational, but something more of like where there's B-rolls and like clips of where you're actually in action. Because here's the thing, you can go two routes with this. You can do it, a route is personally from you to the kids, which here's the thing, you got to realize, like, a kid watching that in their house, trying to do it on their own, how's that really going to play out?
Not
right?
The same, yeah.
Or you do it more of like, you're trying to teach people to not so much be you, but like your systems to train kids, like you training trainers. I think that's maybe, I don't know if you thought about going that route, but you know, like I said, there's plenty of out there for all of us. And I think with the volume you can get out there to other people wanting to do this all across the world, even, you know, then you show more of you in your natural habitat, where you show the clips of you, you know, maybe talk about how you teach and what you do, and then show you where you got, like I saw Ricky in their videotape the other day, you show actually clips of you doing what you do, and they can actually see that. And that's not so much of just you, it's more of like you and your natural clips. I don't know. I'm just thinking, but
well, that was my initial struggle getting even put with social media posts in general, was because I was so stuck on when I first started. I don't want to tell other people how I do things. I don't want to give away my secrets, you know, and that was my big struggle initially. And I feel like I've gotten past that to a certain extent.
Well, I'm here to tell you, bro, you can give away all your fucking secrets because there's no other you. Like, you can, like, and I've realized that coaching and mentoring people and stuff like that, people are their own worst enemy. And there's no other you, man. And there's a reason why you are where you are, and there's a reason why you do what you do. And you could literally give them a blueprint and here you go. You want to be successful and make money and do this? Here's it. And 9 out of 10 won't even do it, because that's we're not normal. People don't take action. People don't put the work in. People don't do any of that. So I get what you're saying, but also know there's comfortability in, is that even a fucking word? No, knowing that, we know I can't barely spell an ad anyways, but there's that in knowing that I get that. But once I realized that most people aren't going to do half of what I do to get to where I've gotten, that's why most of the people I mentor and coach are other fitness apparel brands. Like they're my competitors, quote unquote. And I'm giving the blueprint of what I've done, the losses I've had, the experiences I've had, literally to be successful. But they're not me. And I hope they're successful because I do truly want everyone to win, even people in the same industry, because there's so much out there for all of us. But like, you're not going to go as hard as me. You're not going to go as long as me. I know that. Like, try me. Like knowing that, you know, and then that you get over that and realize that the lives you're going to impact by these coaches, training kids, and the money you're going to make, let's be real, from selling these online for whatever you want to sell them for. And that's it. You sell them this package for $2,000. You sell fucking 500 of those. Do the math. Like, it's done. You know what I mean? So once you realize that, you hopefully get over that. Because I think that's how you impact a bigger group of people. And that's what you should do. Because like I said, you need to, honestly, because it's just doing a disservice for what you do, because you're doing great things. Like I said, I'm not here to blow you up, because I'll tell you if you fucking suck if you do. You know what I mean? So it's just real what I feel. That's why I said. So yeah, man. So here's the thing. I know you talked a little bit. What else do you struggle with, man? Like,
man. The next biggest thing that I've been coming up to recently, now that my business has grown and gotten better, is being able to, like you kind of said, trying to replicate yourself or try to lead coaches. I have two coaches in particular, Coach Connor, Coach Spence, that have been with me by my side for like 2 years. I have them run classes to where I'm able to float and kind of talk with parents and kids, and they run the show. But still, the moment I go on vacation, the moment my wife's like, hey, we're going to leave for a week, I'm like, what's happening? Is everything okay? Is it as good as it should be? You know, and I start stressing. That's that micromanagement spirit, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it comes from a good place, because I'm like, I want to make sure they're delivering the right value, the 100%. Same value when I'm not there.
100%.
And so me being able to step back and allow my coaches to grow, because like I was talking to Jose was saying, if a coach has been under you for, 3-4 years and they're in the same spot, you shouldn't even want that coach. You should want a coach that's like, no, I need more. I want more. I want to grow more. Or they go out and do their own thing.
100%.
Like you want someone that's a hustler. And I don't want to be responsible for holding them back and limiting them. I want to allow them to continue to grow, because I say that and I mean it, but then it comes down to the nitty gritty. And sometimes I find myself, not giving up the reins when I need to.
It's hard too. I deal with it all the time because like, you build a team and they're a family, and I deal with that, but I promise you'll get to a place where, obviously everything you do is a reflection of you as a leader. You have your core values, you teach them how you would do things. And a lot of people, it's hard. People are the hardest thing, man. And the thing is, I feel like your two main guys, they obviously are there for a reason. You obviously, entrust them, empower them for a reason. So that's also, you needed to realize that, trusting yourself, that you made that decision for a reason, and knowing that you're training them in the right way and that you're able to let go. Because, here's the thing, like if you truly have like a business or a company, the true test of that is like, if you're able to go away for a month,
right?
A month. That's what we talk about.
Is like,
can you imagine, like, if you really want to know the goals of how you set up a company, like if you really want to have a company, like, can you leave and it still runs? And a lot of businesses and companies say, no, it's hard. And that's the thing, is you need to get to that level too, because really to have a valuable company and really to be in a place where it's able to grow and get to bigger levels, like you can't have to always be there and in the business, and that's just thinking that way in everything you do and growing it there and being able to take off. And you need to be able to do that. It's hard too. It's hard because we love it. It's hard for me to do because I love it, but, like I said, I think the team you have there is there. And the problem is, you don't want to always be like what you were saying, Jose is saying, like you have those hustlers and you're building them up. And as you grow, like right now, my goal is, as I grow, is creating opportunities for these guys. Like my goal is to grow this company and up the revenue so I can pay them more and give them more opportunity and give them more tasks to hand. Like, that's the goal, is that's really the true focus of me right now. And that focus of you is like, as you're doing that, because you don't want to lose them, because you don't want them to get in a place where they feel like they have no advancement, they can't make any more money, and then they're too hungry and they're too good, and then they're going to go do their own thing. Because that way you turn into a training facility, and you bring in people up, you're training them, and then they go do their own thing. And that's a compliment, and it's bad because you can never grow if you run it through people like that. So, as you grow, I think just figuring out that, like, moving those guys up and being able to create those opportunities for them. How do you do that? How do you do that? You know what I mean? Just thinking how you do that, you know, and really thinking about your business in that aspect, because, you know, if not, it's going to be what it is now and that's it.
Right.
And then, you know, those guys leave. Like if Connor and what's the other guys,
Spence.
I met them all. They're all great guys. Like if 2 or 3 of them left tomorrow, where would you be?
Starting back at zero. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why our people are everything, right?
Sure.
Like our customers, our clients, and our staff. Like that, they're my everything. My customers, my everything. And they come before me, honestly. And that's why, you know, real bosses, real hustlers, we eat last, you know, and you got to make sure you have that mindset and you really have that mindset, because without them, without our staff, we're nothing. And without our customers, we're nothing. So it's like a lot of these motherfuckers out here have such a huge head and they think they're everything and they think their shit doesn't stink. And they're honestly, these guys come up with ideas half the time better than me. That's why I'm always communicating with them. I'm always listening. I'm always asking them. And it's been hard. I've grown and I have a way more to grow, because I used to be what I'm talking about, you know, and I admit it. Like, you know, it's all growth, and you have to always try to grow and evolve, and realizing that if you want to get somewhere, you got to realize that you got to evolve and be a different thing sometimes. Right. So, you know, just thinking in that aspect, like I said, for you though, man, that online thing,
got to figure that out.
You got to get on it, man. You got to get on it. Like you got to figure out if you're going to do, and you can even test it out, have a course. You know, this is just for people to buy and kids to run through. And then here's for coaches. If you want to know how to train kids or build a successful business.
That's true. Why not do both or try both?
You should do both. Because what if you sell 5,000 copies of each? You know, if you try one, you're almost shooting yourself by not trying the other. I would do both if I was you. I'd be very, very ambitious. You're 28 years old, bro. Kill the game. I mean, make fucking 7 figures from these online sales on top of what you're making. Why not?
Online seems like it's the way of the world now.
I mean, the thing is you're just cutting yourself short. You're just selling yourself short, because you're making what you're making now in person. You know, why not make anything online? Do you do anything online now?
Almost no, not really.
Oh fuck! Bro.
Like I do every social media platform.
No, I know you do. You do, and you do a good job with them.
I don't sell anything online. Nothing.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna hold your ass to it. Like
I
honestly,
need that.
this year.
I need that.
Like, what if you made an extra fucking couple 6 figures this year? Would you mind that?
That'd be crazy.
I mean, it'd be crazy, but it's possible.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. Like I said, so it's all on you taking that action and doing it. And you have all the tools. You have everything there. It's just that little thing holding you back.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't even know exactly what it is.
I don't know what it is either. I feel like, because I feel so confident in person, like I was talking to you about.
For sure.
And for whatever reason, there's that hesitation online. That's like, maybe it's not going to be as good online as it is in person, you know?
Well, nothing ever is.
Fair.
That's reality, right? And it's not like you can film it fine and stuff like that, right? You know, awkward on camera. Are you like a little bit? No, I don't know. Like I said, you don't gotta. I know we're our own worst critic. Honestly, we are. But honestly, man, you gotta just do it. You gotta just do it. I'm gonna challenge you. Now every time I fucking see you, I'm gonna be on you. I'm glad we did this, man.
Good.
Donnie, how much time we got, Donnie? Shit.
I'm going for 49 minutes.
Okay, that's cool. Anything you want to ask me? Anything you've been wondering, or anything that you want to talk about?
I want to know a little bit about how you've created this monster that you've got. Now, when I say that, because I know that everybody talks about the pretty stuff. You know, we worked out a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of talked about that, as far as like everybody talks about, oh, I'm growing this much, I'm growing that much, but nobody talks about the dirt and the road it took. And I know that you've talked about it in the past a little bit, but I kind of want to know a little more personally, like from you, how did you continue on when you did hit that rock bottom? Like, what was that inside of you that made you want to continue and now get to where you are?
Well, first of all, I haven't created a monster. This is like a baby compared to what I wanted. This is like, I appreciate you saying that, but this is far from a monster. Like this is like a mini monster now.
The same way you gave me that prop, so I got to come and give you that prop.
I appreciate that, but as far as like what kept me going was my failure before. Like I said, I had no other option, man. There was I'm good at a few things, and I talk about it all the time. Like I'm horrible at a bunch of shit. Even I'm gonna turn 40 years old this year, and I'm horrible at most things. And just having self-awareness at that, man,
sure.
and just realizing that I'm good at these few things, and these are the few things that I'm good at. And thankfully, they're the things that are really foundational for success on any platform, sports, life, business, any business, right? I take action. I'm really good at taking action. There's no fear behind it. I just fucking dive in like I dove in a fucking pond full of fucking sharks. You know what I mean? Like I dive in before I know what's going on, but I figure it out when I'm in there. And that's, like I said, that's the number one thing most people don't do, even like you're kind of struggling with now. And then much my work ethic, I just work my ass off. Like I love the work, you know, and it's not normal. It's running me in a lot of issues, you know, but it's and then my consistency, just my discipline and consistency is off the charts, you know, and there's those three things. And I feel like those are very important things, but those are three things that a lot of people struggle with. And those three things aren't a struggle for me. Like I could do the same shit every day for 20 hours a day for years. And I have. And that's the thing, is that's what really moves the needle, because it takes that time. And obviously you have to pivot and you have to adjust. You can't stupidly do the same thing if you're not getting the results you want. So you have to make sure whatever you're doing, you're getting positive results for. You know, if you're doing something and your business is stagnant or your business is going down, obviously, hey, you got to change something. You know, you can't, like, I talk about having a business and having passion and not quitting, because I lose all the time. You're going to lose more than you win. I talk about that all the time, but you can't quit. There's a difference between losing and failing and quitting. A lot of people think those are two in the same. They're not, because I've lost and failed recently a lot. Like this business, we've struggled in the last couple of years more than ever. We've had to make so many pivots and adjustments and create new systems and do new things that we never were doing before, but we were forced to do. And we actually should have been doing it all along. So now we're launched to take the brand to new levels because we're kind of forced through the dirt to have to do that, which is all positive. But you can't just blindly by passion, because you love something, keep doing it if it's not working. You have to realize, okay, I'm not going to quit this, but I do need to go this way 90 degrees, or else I'm going to be in the same place forever. And I just, like I said, when I lost everything 13 years back, that's always been on my shoulder, that feeling as a failure, as a man and a husband, father. That I would never allow that to happen again. No matter what I had to do, I was going to make it happen. And when you get to that place mentally, because you know, mindset, the mind is really the most powerful thing. You will be successful or not successful based on your mind. And that transition to where I got based on that is just changed me as a person. And I've always been there since that moment. You know, have you ever been through any big struggles like that? Like, what would you say, like, as far as like loss or failure, or like, and that's okay if you haven't, like nobody, you know, a lot of people have, but if you haven't, that's fine. Like I just asked to have you, because I'm interested to know.
I think the biggest struggle that I've had is the ability to pivot. And I'm sure a lot of people have that struggle, but it's like you get stuck in your way of like, this is what I'm doing. And adversity comes, this is what I'm doing. Door closes, this is what I'm doing. And it's like God, life, whatever you want to call it, is telling you stop and a pivot, make an adjustment. One door closes, another one opens. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, what I've battled with, and I've gotten better at it, but what I battled with a lot was pivoting, veering off course, adjusting.
And it's hard because, you know, we're humans, and our human nature is to be set in our ways. We like consistency. We like doing the same thing. It's comfortable. That's what it is. We like being comfortable. Yeah. And that's human nature. And the thing is, once you get used to being uncomfortable and realizing that pressure and being uncomfortable is what creates the success, I love it. I love being uncomfortable. I run towards being uncomfortable. And in the past, I used to shy away from it because that's human nature, you know, but my big thing is I'm trying to grow as much as possible consistently. And I have, and probably in the last 4 years, like I'm a totally different person. And that's the thing. You're only 28 years old. I mean, I started my first company when I was 31. So, I mean, you're so ahead of the game, bro. Like I said, I promise you, just trust me, you can have a 7-figure business off of these online courses. And we all know there's no overhead with that. So that's 7 figures. That's like fucking profit, bro. Right. Net profit. It's crazy. That could change your life. And that can change what you can do to impact and what you can use that money, whatever you want to do. I don't know, buy a new car. I know you got that Mustang. Whatever you have on your goal list, you have everything right here to get there. And I'm telling you right to your face, I hope you realize that, because I'm a straight shooter and I would tell you if you didn't, but I believe in you and I know that you have it. It's just on you to go get it. Now, if you want to be scared of getting on camera and scared and have this whole fucking list right now, a fucking year and a half, you said,
Yeah.
It can be another 3 years. You can have that shit rolled up in the corner.
Real talk.
Or you could be making 7 figures, doing things you want to do, dreams or whatever goals you have with that in a short amount of time. Because like I said, I know what you do is unique. You realize that, I hope, and just realizing that you put it out there, people will react to it.
And this is why you got to have the right circle around you. Because when you don't have people around you telling you to put it out there, you don't. But when you get around somebody that's, like-minded or has more experience, that's like, hey, stop dragging your feet and get in there. Like, I need somebody to push me. Everybody thinks when you're a coach or, you don't need a coach.
Of
it's
course
like,
you
man,
do.
coaches need coaches.
Oh, hell yeah.
I need
Like
somebody
I said,
to push me off that cliff.
I have coaches. I have multiple coaches, even right now. You know what I mean? And I coach a good amount of people. It all goes downhill. You know what I mean? All travel is downhill. And I think that's our sign the fucking light turned off. The battery went out. Anyways, man, I really appreciate you, dude. It was good to get to know more of your story. I'm really proud of you. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next, man. And I appreciate you being on the podcast. I can't even talk. Fuck, I can't even talk. Donnie, don't edit any of this out. We don't edit. Really, we don't edit hardly anything on this thing. I like to keep it raw.
Can we give a little shout out real quick before we
this guy. Yeah, actually, we fucking wore the same shirt today. We look like twins. We look like fucking be about it. You guys will see. We got videos. We'll take some pictures, man. But we're both about it. That's for sure. That's why we are where we are.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate all you guys that listen to this podcast. Please share it. That's the only way we grow this shit. Please share it. I share you if you share it. We appreciate you guys. You got any last words, my man?
No, man. I'm just happy to be on here. I hope people found some value because I got value.
They for sure.
I appreciate
They got value. Appreciate you. We love you guys. We're out.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate.